Morning. So Dollar Tree sells these three different kinds of alkaline cells now. Uh, Not really sure what the difference is. Some of them say plus power, ultra, and then just regular alkaline. So I'm going to put them in that and see how many milliamp hours each one has, and see what the deal is. These are obviously all $1. So, it's 33 cents each, or 25 cents each, or 50 cents each. Worthwhile. Let's find out. And we need to punt because, as you can see, this will not discharge the alkaline batteries. Works great with rechargeables, but it's apparently outsmarting me. So I'm dumber than my charger. I need to rig something else up. Alright, so let's take a look at my solution here. I have it's a battery capacity tester that I got from, I don't know, eBay or one of those Chinese websites. I think you can see it's a ZB2L3. It's a very simple device. You plug it in to 5 volts with a USB. You put a load on the two center terminals. You put a battery across the two outer terminals, and then you let it run. I'll show you how it works. I took these. This is to make a load on the battery. I wanted to do two different loads, like a low draw, slow draw, and a high current kind of application, like if you were using a photo flash or something. So my target was 100 milliamps draw, and I happen to have these 7.5 ohm power resistors. So I twisted them together to put them in series, which gives me 15 ohms. And if we assume the battery is around 1.5 volts, and we apply Ohm's law, V equals IR, you do the math, and you get 100 milliamps. So that should be perfect. So we put those across these middle terminals here. It's harder than it looks when you can't see. Helps if you screw things down. So here, it's the battery terminal. And put the resistor in the middle. And the second battery terminal. Okay, so we've got it hooked up. Or do we? I can't really see with this phone in the way. Let's try that again. This time I'll actually pay some attention. I think I'm in there. Give it a little tug. No, no, I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I hook the battery up wrong? Oh, for God's sakes. You see what I did there? Yeah. plus, minus, load. I don't have it like that. So, why don't we clench our teeth? I hope I didn't blow anything. Electronics. Yeah. This is what happens when a mechanical engineer tries to do anything even remotely electrical. There's a reason. There's a reason for that. But you know, it's the thought that counts. Let's at least hook this one up, right? And you know, here I am, I'm hooking it up, a live circuit, doing all the things you're supposed to do. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to put more length on this. I think the lesson I've learned is that they need to be, the leads need to be long and go way back to where they get pinned down. Yeah, I can feel it's not going in there. I think the screw doesn't, the spring doesn't retract with the screw, so yeah. These are terrible. I'm going to poke something in there. Get something to poke. Use one of these little jeweler's flathead screwdrivers and just, yeah, you can feel it. The little spring is still stuck down, and you know, if I use this thing more frequently, I would probably replace the terminal with a better one, but or I might do that right now. Wow. It's a pain in the ass, I'll tell you. Okay, that one's in. Let's make this one longer as well. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to twist it and fold it over on itself to make it a little stiffer. And put it in there. You know, if this was all going to plan, it wouldn't be very believable, would it? Okay, so now I've got the battery hooked up. The voltage should actually register 1.58. Now you're talking. And there is a slight bias. It's not really 1.58. It's got a, I forget the theory of there, but they bias the voltage for some reason to make it more accurate when it's under load. I don't know. Now we're hooking up our load, except that I can't see, and the terminals are terrible. There we go. Oh, I felt that one go. Excellent. I'm doing laundry. Okay. So now, it is as simple as hitting this button until you get the, this is the minus button, until you get to your cutoff voltage, and you hit the run button. It blinks a couple of times, and boom. Look at that. It's right along the lines of 100 milliamps. And so we'll let that run until the battery discharges, and then we'll we'll see who our winner is. And the Rayovac gives us 1.011 amp hours. It's not bad, I guess. The display is that flickery in real life. That's it. It's actually flashing on and off intentionally to tell you that the test is done. And wrapping up the test of the regular Sunbeam alkaline, got 1.027 amp hours. Excuse the noise in the background there. A rock tumbler. So here we have the Sunbeam Alkaline Ultra coming out pretty much the same as the regular Sunbeam at 1.043 amps. There you go. And just for my own curiosity, I'm going to do an Eneloop with my setup as well. I've measured the Eneloop capacities on that automatic charger before, but I want to see how this battery tester compares to that automated system. Eneloop, 731 milliamp hours. It's about what I expected. And look at that, the IKEA battery actually beat the Eneloop. All right, so I'm gonna switch this around to draw as close to 1 amp as I can, and we'll do a more a higher draw test. This one took too long anyway. 100 milliamps, it's like an overnight kind of test. Like to knock these out a little faster. Okay, so we're back to the Rayovac. My goal was to draw an amp. I seem to be doing that by cobbling together some junk resistors, some, what are they called? Resistor network resistors that I pulled out of an old stereo receiver. Got to use what you have lying around. So anyway, I'm pulling about an amp, and this test should go much, much faster. Oh, Rayovac. I guess 1 amp. We only got 311 milliamp hours. Alright, Sunbeam pulling out a 481 milliamp hour. Alright. Sunbeam Ultra, only 421 milliamp hours. Not 34% more power. And the Panasonic, kinda crappy. 398 milliamp hours. Oh, look at that. Eneloop got 719 milliamp hours. That's almost as well as it did at the low current. Now I know why the photographers use these rechargeables. They'll get twice the lifetime out of these that they would from a alkaline. That's pretty good. Let's try the IKEA. Well, if the IKEA Lada didn't achieve its advertised 900 milliamp hours, that's pretty good. I have a respect for these rechargeables with high drain devices. Okay, I think that's the last one. Alright, so to summarize a little bit here, what we have is the Rayovacs that I got at Home Depot. They might be a little bit old. It might not be a completely fresh set of batteries, but in any case, they held their own in the low current test. But, there wasn't really any difference in the batteries with the low current test. With the high current test, the ones that are labeled the regular Sunbeam alkaline did the best. And the expensive Sunbeam, the twice the price Sunbeam, actually didn't perform as well. The Panasonics did even more poorly than that. But at least they came 3 for $1. And then just for kicks, I threw in the Eneloop and the IKEA batteries that I had laying around. And, I didn't know about the how well they did in high current draw situation, and now I understand the photographers like these things for their flash, and I understand why now. So that's good to know. If we look at how much, so I paid. Obviously, I got the Sunbeam, the Sunbeam Ultra, and the Panasonic. I got those at the Dollar Tree, and I was wondering why you only got 3 Panasonic and 2 Ultra and 4 Sunbeam batteries. So I wanted to see if that was worthwhile or not to get the smaller quantities. And when you do dollars divided by the amp hours, it's clear that the Sunbeam wins even over the 60 count pack from Home Depot. So the Sunbeam wins in both the low and high drain. If you notice, it looks like blank here with the Eneloop and the IKEA. That's because I cheated a little bit and I didn't use the full $2 per battery price for the Eneloop or $1.75 per battery price for the IKEA. I divided it by the expected number of charges. So the Eneloops are supposed to recharge 2,100 times. The IKEAs are supposed to recharge 500 times. So I divided those to get their, over their expected lifetime, the price per milliamp hour, or per amp hour, I suppose. And you can see the Eneloops win in that category because you can use them 4 times more than the IKEA. The downside to that is the IKEA, of course, has higher capacity. So I guess their chemistry is trading capacity for reuse, or maybe there's some other drawback. Maybe the Eneloops have a longer shelf life or something. I don't know. But I have both, and for the stuff I use them for, they're indistinguishable. So there you go. This turned into quite more of a project than what I expected. I expected to throw them in my charger, let the charger drain them, and tell me what the capacity of the batteries were. But it turned into me using some stuff that I had laying around anyway. So, hey, fun.